Hi, this is Odin, and I decided on a topic that I wanted to talk about because not a lot of people like to talk about gender dysphoria because it's a negative about being trans. Um, it's almost a guarantee that you will experience some type of gender dysphoria if you're trans, but not always. And I feel like trans people and cis people can benefit if cis people can understand gender dysphoria. Um, so, what is gender dysphoria? It's pretty much a very intense feeling of anxiety about your body and your anatomy. Um, you know, just that feeling of, wow, my body does not match how I feel it should. And it can really affect us and just come out of nowhere. In all honesty, you can walk past a mirror and be like, okay, that just triggered me because in my head, I'm like, I don't see how other people see me. And then whenever I pass by a mirror, I'm like, oh, reminder. And it kind of sucks a lot. So, it can definitely interfere with your day-to-day life. When dysphoria hits, it can cause you to shut down, become really depressing. You can feel distressed and trapped in your own body, especially if you don't have the means for surgery or to get hormones right away, and you feel helpless and hopeless, and it can become very overwhelming. And it can also cause you to have anxiety about your partner, how they feel and look at you. You can sometimes feel like they will leave you because they'll want to be with a cisgendered person, because you feel like your body isn't good enough or satisfying for them. And that's when you kind of have to reel yourself in and remember that you cannot project your feelings onto your partner, because if you push your own feelings onto your partner, and no matter how much they say, I love you for who you are, I love your body the way that it is, I will love your body whenever it's, the way you want it to be, and I'm gonna love you regardless. If you constantly tell them, no, you won't, you're not gonna love me, you're gonna want someone else, then they're gonna shut down on you, because that's just human nature. I mean, if I was to be with someone and I'm constantly telling her, you're so beautiful to me, I love your body, I love everything about you, and she constantly shut me down and said, no, you don't, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I know you don't see me the way that you're saying you see me, because I don't see me that way, then I would shut down and I would be like, well, no matter what I say or what I do, you're not going to believe me. So we kind of need to remember to kind of bring ourselves to a halt whenever we start projecting our dysphoria onto our partners, because it can become toxic and in some ways abusive. So that's one thing we definitely need to keep in mind. And also, I've seen a lot of the topic about you have to have dysphoria to be transgender. And it's kind of a lot of people argue over it in the trans community, and then a lot of people don't understand, you know, cis people, they're like, oh, well, if you don't have dysphoria, then how can you be trans? And it's a really huge topic a lot of people disagree on. In my own opinion, I have no right to tell someone that they aren't trans because they don't have dysphoria. And in all honesty, I feel like we should be supportive and happy if a trans person in our community doesn't have dysphoria, because it's a horrible feeling to experience. And I've had a friend of mine, and I've seen other people say, I'm trans, but I don't have dysphoria. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, I'm very happy for you that you don't have dysphoria, because I suffer from it. And I like the thought of someone not having those horrible feelings about themselves and just being comfortable with saying, I'm trans, and I know I'm trans, and no, I don't need to have dysphoria to be trans. But that's my opinion, and I feel like a lot of people need to stop pushing their views on other people and saying, well, you can't be trans if you don't have dysphoria. I just feel like that's wrong. But I know that a lot of partners feel helpless because the person that they love is feeling so down about their body and they're hurting. And when you love someone and you can't do anything about the fact that they are hurting, it hurts you. And I've seen a lot of trans partners say, well, what do I do? How can I help? And all honesty, there's nothing you really can do but be there and be supportive and keep reassuring. And it can get exhausting, and your trans partner needs to understand that it can get exhausting. And that's when they need to be like, I know you love me, and I know that you love me the way that I am. I'm just going through a hard time right now, and I appreciate that you're here. Just, in my opinion, us trans people, we need to remember to appreciate the people that do love us and do stand by us and reassure us every day, because they're going through it too. If you guys have any other questions that I may have forgotten to talk about with dysphoria, let me know, and I'll be happy to make another video some point down the road about it. But for tonight, I think that's about it. You guys have a great night.